Okay, hello dear friends, story time. I will try to remember the story, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so once upon a time, there was a prince. He was so good looking. He was kind, nice, good looking, rich, and he possessed all the good things in the world: good morality, good nature, good character, and good looking. And sometimes there was this kind of lucky person. There were the lucky people in the world. Anyway, he was such a good looking prince. And at the same time, there was a little girl also. At the same time of this good looking handsome prince. The little girl had good character, good morality, and good nature, good everything good. But her looking is just ordinary. Not bad, not extraordinary, not as good looking, not equivalent to the good looking prince. And but this little girl had a very kind heart, as kind as the prince. It's just unfortunately she does not have that much fame or that much power as the prince, and she did not have the good-looking appearance as the prince. So the story goes like this. So one day the prince went to the countryside and looking around his country and to see what was going on, what was happening. So he was on his cart, his sedan, and the sedan was covered. He went far away, and he went to a little village. Everyone in the village came out to see the prince, including this little girl. And this little girl, he always wanted to see the prince, but she had never seen the prince. And the prince's sedan passed by, and everybody bowed, and the prince would like to see the surroundings and to see the landscape, to see the people outside. So she opened up the curtain of his window. And just at this time, the little girl saw the prince. Oh, boom! She passed away. I'm kidding. She did not pass away, but her heartbeat was so fast that her heart almost jumped out of her mouth, because she was so impressed by the prince. At the very first sight of the prince, she fell in love. She found such a beautiful, precious, most dearest thing in the whole wide world. That was the prince. And the prince walked out of the Sidon not because he saw the little girl. It was just the routine formality. He would like to walk out and to see and to greet the people. And just at this time, when the prince stepped out of the Sidon, there jumped out a so ugly, a couple, a toad, I think it's a toad, a couple, and it was so ugly. The skin was ugly, and there was with dirty dots, and they just so ugly. The prince was so scared and so disgusted by the ugly sight of the couple. He fell down and he fainted. He passed out because he was so shocked. And everybody went by, and because it was just right in front of the little girl said, "Okay, prince, wake up, wake up. You cannot pass out. You cannot be away from us. Our country needs you." And the prince did not wake up. And just at this time, ta-ling! And just at this time, ta-ling! High above from the sky, flew here, flew here, right in front of the prince, a beautiful, the most beautiful, good-looking fairy. And the fairy puffed, 吹了一口气, how do I say it in English? And the fairy just, and then she said, "Prince, wake up, prince." And her voice was just so beautiful, and it was like spring breeze. The prince woke up and he opened his eyes, and right in front of his eyes, the sight of this beautiful fairy. The prince woke up and he recovered because of this beautiful sight of this fairy. And the prince approached, and he stretched out his hands and arm and hands, just want to hold the fairy and tell her how much he loved the fairy. But as he reached out his hand, the fairy disappeared. And the prince was so sad, and he ran, chasing the fairy. But the fairy disappeared. He could not find. The prince was very sad and very disappointed. And he went back home. He could not eat. He could not sleep because of the sight of this beautiful fairy. He fell in love, and he wanted to have this fairy and marry her. At the same time, the little girl, the little country girl, also could not sleep, could not eat, because she fell in love with the prince. It was the most beautiful and precious thing she had ever seen in her whole life. and she wanted to see the prince. The prince wanted to see the fairy, and the little girl wanted to see the prince. And the prince did not know there was this little girl. 2 tracks of life, unfortunately. So the prince could not fall asleep, could not eat, and she wanted to find the fairy. And then one day she walked out of the palace, the castle, and she went out, and she went far, far, far away. And actually, she went to a place very close to the little girl's place. It was a high mountain, and the prince walked day and night. She was very tired, and she fell down. She fell from a cliff, almost died. And the little girl was a poor girl, poor country girl. Her job every day is to go to countryside. Her job was to go to the countryside, to go to the mountain, to pick up some tree branches, to burn wood, to burn wood for the chimney. And she found the prince. And the girl was so excited, but unfortunately, the prince fell down from the cliff, almost died. And the girl was very sad. She made all her effort trying to save the prince. But the prince was still unawakened, closed his eyes, almost dead. The little girl cried and cried, and her crying, her voice was heard by the heaven. This time came a sorcière, and the sorcière came and told the little girl, "Do you want to save him?" And the little girl said, "For whatever price, I want to save him. I want him to come back to life. Even if I need to die, I can die. I want him to live. I want the very best of him. I do not care about myself. I just want him to die. I love him." So the sorcière heard and took out 2 pills, magic pills. 1 white pill, 1 black pill, the dark pill. The light white pill, which one do we choose to start? The sorcière asked the little girl. So the sorcière told the little girl, "I have 2 pills. Which one would you like to try? Which one would you like to eat? You have only one choice. Either the bright white one or the black dark one, coming from the dark side." And the little girl asked, "So, what about the dark side, the black one?" The sorcière told her, "The dark one, you eat it, you become a crabeau, ugly, disgusting, dirty, and just a crabeau. exactly the same as the one that jumped out of the road to greet the prince the other day. But once you eat it, you will become a couple, but the prince will be awake immediately and live forever and ever. The little girl was very happy because if she ate the black pill, the prince would live forever. But she would become a couple. She did not want that. She thought, and then she decided, oh no, that's not a good idea, because the price of it is that the prince would disgust me and would not like me, and I did not want to see that. And so how about white pill? The sorcier told her, the white pill you eat, you will become just so beautiful. You will become exactly like the fairy. The little girl heard, oh, I want a white one. But hold on, the sorcier told her. You became this beautiful fairy, but at the same time, once you became the fairy, you wake up the prince. The prince will die immediately at the sight of your appearance of this beautiful fairy. The prince will see the fairy, but the prince will die. So it was such a hard decision. The little girl thought, I become such a beautiful fairy. That's all what I want. So the prince will love me. But the prince will die. And that's not good. I do not want the prince to die. So the little girl was so sad, and she felt desperate. There were two choices, but none of them satisfied her. She thought and thought, and she could see the life slipped away from the prince. If she did not make decision, the prince will die immediately. And she just could not make that decision. The girl thought and thought and thought, and finally she decided. Could you guess what the prince decided? I will stop the video here and do the next part sometime later. I would like to hear your idea. If you were the little girl, which one would you choose? What would be your decision?